Hey friends, guess what? I fell asleep again. but at least this time Nicole came by and woke me up. So you're getting your daily Bible reading on the day you were supposed to get it, just late. I don't even know what time it is. Oh, it's not real late. It's just a few minutes before 7 o'clock. I thought it was midnight. It's not late at all. We are chapter 25. And before I started this video, I was just thinking about what I've been reading the last few days in the daily Bible readings. I read a whole lot more in the Bible than what I share in the daily Bible readings, but I'm talking about in the daily Bible readings, the trials, literally the trials that the Apostle Paul is going through. In the reading I did this morning, he was tried before Felix, and chapter 25 I'm fixing to read to you right now. He's tried again before Festus. For preaching the gospel. True Christians were really persecuted then, and they are today too. I have been a lot. One guy, I know I told y'all, wanted to fight me just because I was sharing Jesus with them. And he had his fist up ready to go. And I just kind of backed away and left. At that time, I think I could have whooped him because I used to fight when I was in high school and college, and I know how to fight. But now my body is so weak and I can't move fast or anything, and I don't think I could whoop a fly now. But at that time, I'm pretty sure I could have, but I was not a fighter anymore, so I backed away and let him go. And then the next day, or maybe 2 days later, is when somebody ran into the back of my truck. And I bet you it was him. Ever since it happened, I thought it was probably him. He had a big truck with the flatbed. He's a rancher here in town or out in the country, and he had a big flatbed ranch truck with one of those big lifters on the back of his truck that would pick up the big round bales of hay. And my truck got hit from the back end, and the way it was hit, it was creased from the top of the tailgate all the way down to the bottom of the tailgate and the back bumper. And the only thing I could think of that would do a crease like that is those big round bell movers. And so I bet he did it, but I never called the police or nothing. It's still, well, I went to a auto salvage yard and bought another tailgate, but it's white and my truck is gray, so it doesn't match. But at least I got a tailgate that works. And they haven't had a bumper yet. I guess I need to buy one online. I just haven't done it, but I need to do that. I went just in the last month or so, I went to a auto body place here in town and asked him how much he would charge just to paint the tailgate. Nothing, no work, no body work or nothing, just paint the tailgate. $1,500, y'all, just to paint the tailgate gray to match my truck. I said, no, that's all right. I'll just drive around with it white. That is crazy. At Hilo Auto Parts, they sell spray cans. They will mix spray cans to match your body color, your auto body color. It's expensive. It's like $60 a can, but I think probably 3 or 4 cans I can do it myself. So sometime in the springtime I'll do it. I thought about it all this year, but I never did it because the wind blows here pretty much all the time. I live on top of a flat mountain. It's like a mountain, somebody flattened the top of it and built this town on it. And the wind blows like crazy here pretty much all the time. And there's always dust in the air. And so I never did even consider spray painting the tailgate myself, but I could back it into the garage and do it in there and probably be all right. I didn't even think about that earlier. But anyway, here I went chasing rabbits, and I've talked already 6 minutes. So let me shut up and start reading the Bible, y'all. And y'all can thank God for Nicole. She and her 2 sons came by, and it was good to see them. I hadn't seen her boys ever since I went to the football game, and that's been a month probably, longer than that maybe. I don't remember when it was. I told you all about it. I posted some pictures at my YouTube community page. But it's good to see her boys, and it's good to see her. It's always good to see her. She is such a precious, precious woman. She got some of that soup I made. That soup was so good. I wish I could have all y'all over for a soup party, because that soup was excellent. I could never duplicate it though, because I don't write down my recipes. I just put in a little bit of this and a little bit of that and so forth, and I don't know what all I put in it, but it was good. And I've still got probably a gallon and a half for myself that I'll be enjoying. I've got room in my freezer for 2 or 3 freezer containers, and the rest of it I'm gonna have to eat right away. So I'll be eating soup the next few days, but it's good. I don't mind. I think I'm gonna have some right now. I haven't eaten today all day, and I think I'll have some as soon as I finish this video. And I'm never gonna finish this video if I don't stop chasing rabbits and start reading. So I'm gonna stop chasing rabbits and start reading, y'all. I love y'all. Y'all are my family. Y'all are all I got. And Nicole is so busy. Goodness gracious, y'all. She just bought that big building downtown here. It's a big building. I don't know how many square feet it is. It's 2 or 3 stories. It's like 2 stories plus living area up on top of it. And I don't know how many square feet, but it's a big building. And she's got that big, I don't know what the heck you call it. It's a sewing machine that sews quilts. And I think I've posted pictures of it at my community page. The table for it is 12 to 15 feet long. I don't know how long it is. I just looking at it and making a guess. And I asked her one time how long it was, and she didn't know either, but it's 12 to 15 feet long. And the sewing machine is mounted on a track, and it's computer programmed. She'll program it, and it'll go back and forth on this 12 to 15 foot long track, and the quilt goes in and out like this. And she does the bottom, the padding, and the top, and this machine sews the 3 pieces all together. And anyway, she bought this big, huge building downtown, and she's opening up a quilting shop. She's ordering a lot of fabric, and I don't know anything about fabric. She was just now telling me that fabric for quilts is different than regular fabric, and it's closer together. It's knit closer together than regular fabric, and it's heavier and more expensive. And anyway, she's ordering all sorts of colors, and she's getting the big, I think it's called bolts of cloth. You know, it has many, many yards of cloth wrapped around it. And she showed me a picture. She had like, it's probably 10 or 12 big boxes, and each box had 6 or 8 of those bolts in it. And that was just her first shipment. And she said she's got a lot more coming. And I don't know what all. She's going to sell all kind of sewing stuff, but everything that she's selling and doing is for quilts. It's not for making dresses or shirts or anything like that. It's all for quilts. And she's going to move her big machine out of her house to her store and put quilts together there. Plus, she's a doctor at the big hospital south of here. All she does is knee and hip replacements, and so she just works Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I think. It's just 3 days a week. I guess they don't do a lot of knee and hip replacements there, but she does that. Plus, she's got the quilt shop. And it seems like there's something else she does too, but I can't remember. Anyway, she's just a really smart, really super person. She's got a heart as big as Texas, and I just am so thankful God put her in my life. She's a wonderful, wonderful person. And her sons are too. Her sons are, I can't ever remember. I think 10 and 7 or something like that. And I love those guys. They're good kids. She's raised them good, and they're both in every kind of sport that there is. And often when I feel like getting out, Nicole will come get me and take me to a basketball game or a football game or a baseball game, and I sit there with her and watch them play, and I enjoy the heck out of that. That is good for me to get out, and I yell for those boys, and and I told you that football game I went to recently, her son ran like 60 or 70 yards all by himself and tackled the guy that had the football running toward the goal line, the opponent, and kept him from and when he tackled him, he made him fumble, and he recovered the fumble and ran the ball back to about the 20 or 30 yard line before he got tackled. So he did an awesome play there. He did good. Her boys are tough, but they got hearts just like their mom, and I love all of them. They're really good people. Let me stop my rambling, y'all. Kitty Callie has joined us. She's laying right beside me like she always does. And so we're here to share the Word of God with you. And that's pretty much all I do here on YouTube. I'll throw something up occasionally that is something different, like one of my cooking videos or something. And I don't do a cooking video. I'll show you what I cooked occasionally, and I have done a cooking video or two, but that's too much work for me. I gotta have my big tripod set up, and I gotta keep moving it around because I can't do everything in one place when I'm cooking, so I don't do cooking videos. Enough rambling, y'all. Let me read. Acts chapter 25. Now when Festus was come into the province, after 3 days, he ascended from Caesarea to Jerusalem. Then the high priest and the chief of the Jews informed him against Paul and besought him, and desired favor against him that he would send for him to Jerusalem, laying wait in the way to kill him. But Festus answered that Paul should be kept at Caesarea, and that he himself would depart shortly thither. Let them therefore, said he, which among you are able, go down with me and accuse this man, if there be any wickedness in him. And when he had tarried among them more than 10 days, he went down unto Caesarea, and the next day, sitting on the judgment seat, commanded Paul to be brought. And when he was come, the Jews which came down from Jerusalem stood round about, and laid many and grievous complaints against Paul, which they could not prove, because they were all fabricated, y'all. While Paul answered for himself, neither against the law of the Jews, neither against the temple, nor yet against Caesar have I offended anything at all. But Festus, the judge, the new judge, willing to do the Jews a pleasure, answered Paul and said, Wilt thou go up to Jerusalem and there be judged of these things before me? Then said Paul, I stand at Caesar's judgment seat, where I ought to be judged. To the Jews have I done no wrong, as thou very well knowest. For if I be an offender, or have committed anything worthy of death, I refuse not to die. But if there be none of these things whereof these accuse me, no man may deliver me unto them. I appeal unto Caesar. Then Festus, when he had conferred with the council, answered, Hast thou appealed unto Caesar? Unto Caesar shalt thou go. And after certain days, King Agrippa and Bernice came unto Caesarea to salute Festus. And when they had been there many days, Festus declared Paul's case unto the king, saying, There is a certain man left in bonds by Felix, about whom, when I was at Jerusalem, the chief priests and the elders of the Jews informed me, desiring to have judgment against him, to whom I answered, It's not the manner of the Romans to deliver any man to die before that which he is accused have the accusers face to face, and have license to answer for himself concerning the crime laid against him. Therefore, when they were come hither, without any delay on the morrow, I sat on the judgment seat and commanded the man to be brought forth, against whom, when the accusers stood up, they brought none accusation of such things as I supposed, but had certain questions against him of their own superstition, and of one Jesus, which was dead, whom Paul affirmed to be alive. And because I doubted of such manner of questions, I asked him whether he would go to Jerusalem and there be judged of these matters. But when Paul had appealed to be reserved unto the hearing of Augustus, I commanded him to be kept till I might send him to Caesar. Then Agrippa said unto Festus, I would also hear the man myself tomorrow, said he. Thou shalt hear him. And on the morrow, when Agrippa was come, and Bernice with great pomp, and was entered into the place of hearing with the chief captains and principal men of the city, At Festus's command, Paul was brought forth. And Festus said, King Agrippa, and all men which are here present with us, ye see this man about whom all the multitude of the Jews have dealt with me, both at Jerusalem and also here, crying that he ought not to live any longer. Because he's telling the truth. It is just totally insane, y'all. But when I found that he had committed nothing worthy of death, and that he himself had appealed to Augustus, I have determined to send him, of whom I have no certain thing to write unto my Lord. Wherefore I have brought him forth before you, and specially before thee, O King Agrippa, that after examination had, I might have somewhat to write. For it seemeth to me unreasonable to send a prisoner, and not withal to signify crimes laid against him. I was looking to see if I had time to read chapter 26, and because I did so much rabbit chasing, I don't. So I apologize for that. But tomorrow I'll read chapter 26. That's some good stuff, and it's getting interesting. You know, it's like the cliffhanger. I don't want to end. I want to keep reading, but I know how it ends already. I just want to keep reading. But that's that for now. And in chapter 26, Jesus speaks some words too. So chapter 26 is going to be excellent. It's all excellent, y'all. If it's in this book, it's excellent. And I hope y'all do a whole lot more Bible reading than what I share with you each day. You know, there's nothing better than reading God's holy word, unless it's praying, talking to our Creator. I just love the heck out of doing both. I hope you do too. If you don't, you're not doing enough of either. If you do enough of both, you'll be craving it. You'll want more and more and more. The more you have of God and Jesus and the Holy Spirit, the more you're going to want. Or at least that's the way it works for me. Enough of my chasing rabbits. I appreciate every one of you. I thank God for every one of you. And I literally do thank God in prayer for every one of you. I pray for every one of you. My heart loves every one of you. Therefore, I pray for every one of you. It's a rough, messed up world we live in, friends. And so I'm keeping y'all covered in prayer. And I know many of y'all are keeping me covered in prayer. And I cannot thank you enough. You know, y'all are the only people I know. Well, I'm sure Nicole keeps me covered in prayer, but that's it. And I appreciate y'all very much. Way more than you know. Y'all are my family. Y'all are my friends. Y'all are pretty much all I got. And I'm very thankful. And it is very cold here, y'all. Nicole was laughing at me. She and her two sons had on short sleeves and shorts. I said, y'all are cuckoo. But they've lived up here all their life. They're used to this weather, and I'm not. And I got the heater on, too. They was probably burning up when they were in here. But that's that, y'all. I'm going to eat some of that soup, and I don't know what after that. God bless you. Probably read the Bible some more, because I'm anxious to get some more of it. That's reading the Bible is better than eating to me. But I got to do both. God bless you, friends, and good night.